World Cashew Convention. I'm Shruti from cashewinfo.com. With me, James Fitzpatrick, Ingredient Sourcing Solutions. Welcome to World Cashew Convention.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
What are the general outlook for demand in cashew sectors?
The current outlook is positive. We've seen in the last couple of years a recovery in demand growth, both in Europe and in the United States, and we continue to see steady growth. Meantime, of course, we see rapidly growing consumption of cashew nuts in India. We see countries like China and Australia coming on and on into the market. As we look at it now, it's beginning to become clear that the real problem in the next 10 years is not how to sell cashew nuts, how to buy them is becoming the difficulty. We see this balance between supply and demand shifting. That, of course, could change because the market will respond in time with further supplies. At the moment, we look at the position in Europe as turning very positive on demand. There are short-term challenges, such as the strength of the dollar against euro, but generally, the profile for edible nuts in general, and cashew nuts in particular, is very positive. Healthy eating and eating habits have changed in favour of these products that we're all here to talk about these next couple of days.
How the buyer's requirement has changed, sir?
It's a very good question. In the past, buyers have always demanded good price, good quality, and contract fidelity, that people do what they promise they will do. This has become more and more formalized in recent years. So standards now on food safety, standards on quality management systems have changed, and there's no doubt that demand has grown. Meantime, and particularly in Europe, we're seeing demand for traceability of the product, which is a challenge in our industry, given so many raw nuts are shipped from Africa to India and Vietnam for processing. And we see in the United States the Food Safety Modernization Act, meaning that it's much more about developing longer term relationships, developing that connection right back down to the processing. The days of ad hoc buying here and there from different people, those are gone. For the future, it's about long-term relationships. It's about how buyers and processors can work together over many years.
What are the prospects for processing in Africa?
It's the big question. As a question, this has been around for, well, certainly 20 years. I think the prospects are improving. I think that we have seen in recent years, and particularly if we look at the Ivory Coast, there we see a new approach. We see large-scale supply. We see better and better institutional environment. We see slightly better access to finance. It's still a challenge, but it seems to be moving in the right direction. And I think that we can't speak just of Africa. We have to speak specifically of countries. The challenges in some countries are much greater than in other countries. This is a 5 to 10 year project. We will not see large-scale processing overnight, but we will see it. It is coming.
What are the impact of processing technologies?
Huge impacts. We spoke about Africa a moment ago. I mean, we now see the processor is much more a manager. He's a manager of machines. He needs to have much better services, better servicing, better understanding of the process than ever before. The days of employing a few hundred people and setting up in a shed, this is gone. Food safety demands that, but also technology. So there are challenges for new processors in sourcing equipment, accessing the technology management. That's most acute in Africa. But if we look in India and we look in Vietnam, there are also challenges. From a manual processing operation, this business is completely turned around, and it now becomes, and is becoming more and more, highly mechanized, highly technological process. This is new challenges. Initially, it meant more broken cashews. I feel we're getting to the stage where that is being resolved. Better and better peeling machines. The challenge of shelling or cutting the cashew nuts, this of course is a major one. And I think from what I can see, and we visited a number of manufacturers of equipment at the CIETA conference in Abidjan in November, from what I can see, there is progress in that direction. It's driven by costs of workers in Vietnam, cost of workers in India, and there's no reason to believe that the march of technology in cashews will not continue. It's hard to see it ever being a fully mechanized process, particularly at the smaller scale. But certainly we must look at machines, we must, particularly as investors, see machines as the future for the cashew business. In India, in Vietnam, and elsewhere.
How you felt about this organizing like World Cashew Convention?
Well,
What's your feedback?
I'm really impressed. Somebody said that the right venue is half the battle.
Yeah.
Well, this is definitely the right venue. I'm really impressed. I see people from many different countries. I'm happy to see that. I have a feeling this can go from strength to strength.
Yeah.
And I think that we who are here these 2 days will look back on it in years to come and say, well, I was at the first one.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for spending.
It's a pleasure. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.